Does the Loch Ness Monster exist? I'll give you guys a few seconds to ponder about the question. I bet some of you are thinking it does, some of you are thinking it doesn't, and the rest of you are probably thinking, I don't care. I'm currently reading this book called Nexus by Yuval Noah Harari, and I came across something that absolutely blew my mind. Let me introduce you to a few topics. Firstly, we have objective reality. Objective reality tells you that there are things like asteroids, mountains, and then subjective reality, pain, pleasure, love. And then we have intersubjective reality, which tells you there's something there when there really isn't. And this belief comes from the stories that surround it. The ability to weave a compelling story is only found amongst us, the Homo sapiens. We have also seen this as centuries after the leader has departed this planet, their followers multiply at a pace which is frightfully terrifying, only because the narrative being set has power within it. Some races just live off the power of stories. Take the Jewish diaspora community, for example. They believe in a series of well told events that are recounted at every holiday. This creates a sense of interconnectedness like never before. The state of Palestine exists despite the fact that the war is ripping it apart. Why even corporates like Sri Lankan Airlines recently brought out the Ramayana Trail, which features an enduring ad where a grandmother is telling the story of Ramayana to her dear grandson. Now, for a moment, imagine an enormous spider's web stretching across continents, cultures, and generations. Every thin thread is a story, folktale, or myth that in turn binds us within one human experience. The web, strewn with the threads of folklore and mythology, tie us up within the universal fabric of common wisdom, values, and worldwide tempered human endeavors. It is such a strong web that even against the backdrop of vastly differing cultures, the stories we tell ring similar hopes, lessons, and fears. The richness and variety of folklore is enjoyed in every culture. Just take the trickster tales found almost everywhere in the world, from Anansi the spider in West African folklore to the coyote in Native American folklore. Such different cultures, divided by oceans, yet convey similar messages on integrity and humility. This leads us to believe that even though we're so different from one another in language and geography, we still ask ourselves the same questions about life and its resilience. A great example of interconnectedness is found within creation myths. Every culture, may it be on earth or not, has a story of how the world began. In Yoruba traditions from Nigeria comes the tale of Obatala, who descended from the heavens to create land. This really spoke to the hearts of New Zealanders who believe in the tale of Tain Mahuta, the god of the forest, who separated sky from earth, creating life, existence, and possibly human possibility. Although both these cultures are thousands of miles apart, they tell us about divine beings changing the world. This tells us that everyone here is longing to find where they belong within the cosmos and within the miracle of creation itself. Now, I'm sure all of you are asking, why would these stories that are born in such vastly differing contexts resonate with each other on so many similar themes? The explanation lies within the fact that these stories are mirrors of our common human emotions, our joys, our fears, and our aspirations. Just take the ancient Greek myth of Odysseus' journey back home. Now, that might feel a world away from the ancient Chinese tale of Mulan. Yet, in both these stories, we are greeted with characters who are embarked on journeys so momentous, they face challenges that define their lives and eventually come out transformed through resiliency and courage. They both are heroes' journeys, and we see ourselves as these heroes who fight these mystic beasts. An archetype cuts across almost every culture. To wit, from the epics of Gilgamesh all the way to the Lord of the Rings in modern times. Why is this archetype so long standing and powerful? It is because this storyline embodies the universal journey of life with all its changes. We see ourselves as these heroes who go on journeys, who meet teachers, who face problems, who find solutions, go through the unknown, and come out transformed. And through these legends, we are reminded that the road that we tread is a well-trod one, shared by millions of others down history and geography. These values are also reflected within folklore. Take stories with the tanuki, a mischievous spirit found in Japanese folklore. Stories with the tanuki are light-hearted and humorous and warn us against trickery and deceit. In similar fashion, we have stories about Anansi, the trickster spider, in West African folklore. Stories with the Anansi also warn us against trickery and deceit, but in addition, give us insight on human nature to when trickery is unbalanced with wisdom and cleverness. In some myths, like that of Sednas, the sea goddess, found in Inuit cultures, we are met with reverence for nature and the sea. The themes of Sedna's story are interdependence and sacrifice, similar to the Native American philosophy, to treat nature as if it were a living being worthy of respect. These cultures come from different climates and landscapes, yet really have something to say about the natural world, underlining the fact that as species, we must live in accordance to what surrounds us. Now, I'm sure all of you are thinking, what is he rambling on about? Our legacy, our culture, when he hasn't said anything about Indian folklore. Coming to it, Indian folklore is one of the richest, finest, and oldest in the world. We have texts all the way from Mahabharata and Ramayana to the Jataka tales. Our stories are incredibly diverse and speak volumes. Our stories are rich in confluence as we have a plethora of stories about heroes, gods, and demons that all speak to the same themes of diversity, power, sacrifice, love, and wisdom. Nowadays, even science has begun to acknowledge the power of storytelling. Neuroscientists have found that when a story is being told, the storyteller's brain and the listener's brain become aligned to almost be one. This phenomenon is called neural coupling. When we hear a well-told story, our brain mirrors that of the storyteller's brain, and we experience the events as if we were there. This just shows that how much storytelling is embedded within our system. It almost feels like we are wired to connect through stories. Thus, with every narration, words, images, or even movies, the story weaves into our lives, which harbors a sense of commonality which unites many. Just imagine an elder African telling the stories of Anansi under a baobab tree to children, or the Japanese grandparent recounting the stories about the tanuki, or an Indian auntie telling the Jataka tales to her nieces or nephews. These stories are simple in design, yet rich in confluence about who came before and who will come after. They are not only pieces of entertainment, but parts of our legacy that will be passed down through generations. Not only that, they are pieces of advice that our ancestors had to convey to their grandchildren. It's a personal story, and hundreds and thousands of these stories come together to comprise this beautifully intricate tapestry that we know as the human experience. It may be the tales of Anansi the trickster spider, or about the one who went into the underworld, or about the gods who fought the mortals. Yet, all these stories talk to the same themes of sacrifice, wisdom, and survival. Our world today is fast paced and sometimes even polar. Yet, through stories, we are reminded of our collective humanness. Now, remember this as you move forward. The next time you hear a story, or perhaps even share one, you are adding to this web. You are single handedly preserving a legacy built on stories. And all of this reminds us that in the end, we are not alone. We are part of something greater, a timeless world connected through stories that have the power to inspire, that have the power to heal, and have the power to unite. After all, everyone is a story. Stories are everyone. And in them, we are one. Thank you.